Lecha Adonai Hagadula v'Hagevura v'Hatiferet v'Hanetzach v'Hahod Kicho b'shamayim uva'aretz Kicho b'shamayim uva'aretz Lecha Adonai Hamamlacha v'Hamitnaseh l'chol l'rosh.
In our fifth and final part of this series of shorts, we talk about the final and fifth book of the Torah, the book of Deuteronomy, in English, Dvarim. This is literally a retelling of the books of Exodus, Leviticus, and Numbers, being retold a number of years later, except for the very closing of the book. So, as we move through the book of Dvarim, we have the second version of the Ten Commandments, which starts over here. And they are not identical to the first. Would take us afield, but a very interesting number of differences. Some meaningless and some quite significant in terms of the wording of the commandments. In the very next column, we have the Shema. The Shema and the V'ahavta. Certainly wonderfully famous passages. Please note that in the calligraphy Torah, the last letter of the word Shema and the last letter of the word Echad are larger than the rest of the line. That's usually explained as the ayin and the dalet together spell aid, which means witness. That when we recite the Shema, we are witnesses to God's unity. However, I point out another explanation as to why they're large. There is a second silent letter beside the ayin, which is an aleph. If this word were shin mem aleph and not shin mem ayin, it would mean perhaps. Not hear or listen, O Israel, but perhaps, O Israel, God is one. Heresy. Same thing down here. What letter looks just like a dalet? A resh. If it said Adonai Acher instead of Echad, it would mean God is something else. God is other. Also heresy. So I suggest to you that these two letters are enlarged to prevent anybody from even thinking that the sentence means anything that compromises the unity of God. Hey, the words lanu ulavanenu, dots above them, meaning again, there's some additional meaning to what the literal words mean. Literally it says, the revealed things are for us and our children forever. It's the second half of a verse which begins, the hidden things belong to God, and the revealed things to us and to our children. Whatever meaning you want to attach to that. Obviously the rabbis intended something by the dots. Okay, and the last thing we're going to discuss is the second epic poem, Moses' farewell address to the people before he dies, called Ha'azinu. It's set up again like poetry as opposed to narrative, but here with a very regular pattern as contrasted with the Song of Moses that we saw in the book of Exodus, which has a very artistic pattern. So we have, concluding the Torah appropriately enough, the death of Moses, and it's a segue into the next book of the Bible, the book of Joshua, which tells of the Israelites' actual crossing the Jordan River into the land of Canaan.
Romemu, Romemu, Adonai Eloheinu, Vehishtachavu, Vehishtachavu, La'adom Raglav Kadosh Hu.